Another way to know if your cork is really bad is if you can grab the crown and just pull it right out the top. Hey, flute players and band directors, I'm talking to you today about flute head joints, and we're going to talk specifically about the head joint cork, setting it and knowing what it does and when it's time to have it replaced. So go ahead and grab your cleaning wand, which is also your tuning rod, which has this little line on it. That is 13 millimeters. And what we do with that is we put it into the head joint, and that little line should be exactly in the center of your embouchure hole. And that means that the cork plate on the inside is 13 millimeters from the center of the embouchure hole. And that is what it should be set to for your instrument to be tuned properly. Because what that does is it sets the length of the tube, right? Because our instrument is just a tube. And so if we change the length of the tube, it changes the intonation of the instrument. Now, there's a couple of different ways we can remove this head cork just to take a look and see what kind of condition it's in. First one is that we will unscrew our crown, and then we will push this out. If this is really hard to push out, that's probably a good sign. It should be tight, but not so tight that we can't push it out. Now, you can carefully take your cleaning rod and put the end onto the end of that threaded rod right there, and then carefully push, and it should just drop right out. Now, the things that I can see with this one that tell me this is a bad cork and it's time to be replaced immediately is that discoloration. All of that green on there is our sugars and spit and saliva that have leaked up past the end of the cork plate and in here. And so that's going to cause turbulent air. Turbulent air makes our instrument very difficult to play. It makes the response bad. That means our intonation is off, and it makes playing particularly the low notes really, really, really hard. And then the next thing I see is that the head joint cork stop screw or stop plate is already loose. It means this is probably vibrating around in there. We're getting synthetic vibrations when we're playing, and that's no fun. And it just makes our instrument feel kind of crappy. So if we see discoloration on our cork, or if it's really loose, it's definitely time for a replacement. Now, how do we put it back in? You're going to put the threaded side down first. This is the tenon where you'd put into the flute. So we're going to drop that down in. And then we're going to use our tuning rod, and we are going to push that until we see the line on our tuning rod right there in the center of the embouchure hole. And then we'll simply put our crown back on. Now, this should be able to move the cork just a little bit. This is the best way to adjust it. If you go in there and it's off just a little bit, say it's over there like that, and that was the crown was tightened down all the way. Well, you can adjust this and push or pull the crown so that way this seats nice and snugly, not tightly, snug. And then you know that your intonation should be correct. So you should replace your head joint cork at least once a year if you play semi-professionally or on a regular basis, because this is going to make your instrument respond so much better. Another way to know if your cork is really bad is if you can grab the crown and just pull it right out the top. That's how you know you've got a really bad head cork, and it's not fitting at all. It's not sealing air, and your instrument plays terribly. But you should never pull it all the way out through the top, because that can stretch the end of the tube here, and if you do it incorrectly, you may have to go to the repair shop anyway to have that fixed. But just to check it, if you can just grab your crown and just pull on it just a little bit and it moves easily, you know your cork's bad and it's time to have it replaced. If you want to see a video of how to do a head joint cork change, let me know in the comments that you want to see this. Now, this is something only a technician should do because there are some tools and experience required to do this properly, but I'll still show you how if you let me know in the comments that you want to see how it's done. If you like this video, make sure to hit that follow button, give me some hearts there, bookmark it, and share this with your friends. I appreciate your support so much.